Hey, it's your girl Shay Shay. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time, and welcome back if you've been here before.
Totally Spies follows three teenage girls living in Beverly Hills. School during the day, shopping, friendships, normal teenage life, obsessing over boys, and suddenly, boom, a door opens up on the floor beneath them and off they go on another mission on behalf of WHOOP, the international spy agency in the show. From the animation style to the variety of plots to the writing style and pacing, the show ended up becoming a major hit with both its target audience and a much wider audience than you might initially expect for a series like this. It managed to balance light, comedic teenage moments with more high-stakes spy missions in a way that kept episodes constantly engaging while still being easy to follow and accessible for younger viewers. It was popular enough, in fact, that it has returned in the 2020s with a new set of episodes, something that has inspired, in part, this video. Across its running, the humor consistently landed, the mysteries were structured in a way that kept viewers guessing just enough, and the broader themes of friendships, identity, and independence came through clearly for fans both old and new, all of which plays a role in why the show has remained so recognizable and widely remembered over time. So with that in mind, here we go, into another video.
Disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take anything said here too seriously. It's just jokes, gossip, and opinions. Please relax and enjoy the video.
Everything presented in this video is alleged. I'm only spreading the word on the curb, and in no way I'm giving my personal opinion. One thing Totally Spies really gets right is the overall vibe of the show, because when you actually watch it, it doesn't feel like a typical Western cartoon from that time at all. A big part of that comes from the animation style. It leans heavily into an anime-inspired look, sharper features, bigger expressions, more emphasis on movement and reactions, which already sets it apart visually from a lot of other shows in the same space. And that ties directly into the pacing. The show moves fast, scenes don't sit for too long. Jokes come in quickly, situations escalate almost immediately, and there's always something happening which keeps the energy up the whole time.
Oh my gosh! She's bald! She's bald and she's torturing people who have hair!
And that girl, Mandy, was just, like, kidnapped.
Yay!
That same energy carries into how the characters present themselves. The outfits are constantly changing. Different looks at school, different looks casually, different looks depending on the situation, and for a cartoon, that's actually pretty unusual. A lot of show characters wear the same thing in every single episode because it's easier to animate and keeps everything consistent, but also when you consider the fact that there's actual people who have to draw all this, it keeps the price down for the animation team. In fact, some people even describe that the Totally Spies fashion was more of a magazine approach where they would be used to trial different outfits and they actually were styled professionally. So you actually had people whose job it is to style them correctly, style them for every episode. And one thing people have noticed is how them styles have really held up even in this current day and age. And all this together to say that the show overall did have a very dynamic feel to it.
Totally Spies is so good. I'm rewatching it again, and the thing is that it wasn't just for the girls, it wasn't just for the gays, it was for everybody. It was a great spy action show. Honestly, if you like Spy Family with a girlier theme to it, of course, then that's definitely Totally Spies. Something that I'm definitely realizing on this rewatch is it does feel a bit dated just because Clover stayed wanting to go to the mall like almost every other episode. And funny enough is that I know they're doing a reboot, so I'm curious if they would do something with Clover and maybe an addiction to online shopping, because I feel like she would definitely either have that problem or fall into some villain's trap in terms of online shopping for clothes. But them girls stayed having a different outfit every single episode. You couldn't play with them girls. And then Mandy, they need to throw hands with her. I was getting so tired of this laugh. I was just like, man, this is haunting. This brings back nightmares back to my childhood of that laugh. Like, girl, calm it down. It's funny because I did not actually watch all of the college episodes. I watched all of high school, but I did not watch all of college. I did see the series finale, weirdly enough, but I didn't see all the college episodes, so I'm going to need to rewatch all of that. But what do you guys think?
What makes Totally Spies work isn't just the premise, it's the structure it repeats and refines across almost every episode. Show runs on a very consistent rhythm. Everyday life gets interrupted by a WHOOP mission. The girls are pulled into a larger spy operation, they get caught, then they end up freeing themselves, they defeat the baddie, and then everything resolves and drops back into normal teenage life, although sometimes there are some two-parter episodes. That pattern isn't just storytelling shortcut, it's the foundation of how the story keeps itself stable while also allowing for a huge variety of situations, locations, scenarios, and mysteries. Each episode feels self-contained, usually again with some exceptions, but still part of the same system. You always know the shape of what's coming, even if the details change. That structure only works because of how the three main characters function with it and interact. Alex brings a reactive, high-energy, and slightly childish presence that keeps the momentum going in tense situations. She's also been described sometimes as a tomboy, although that can be debated. Clover is more expressive and socially aware, often tied to confidence, image, and how situations are perceived. She's also a bit more street savvy. Sam perceives a more grounded, analytical perspective, often stabilizing the group when things become unpredictable. She's more book smart, if you will. And what was always interesting to me on a personal note was watching how they would always interact in each mission, who would figure it out, who would be the physical strength, who would be the one who would take down the baddie, who would be the one to free the hostages if there were any. And also when one of them would get caught, it'd be interesting to see how the other two would step up and compensate for that absence. One thing that really makes Totally Spies stand out is that it feels like it was a show that was made with a lot of care, not just in one area but across multiple. The character designs, the environments, the fashion, there's a level of attention that goes a bit beyond what you'd expect from a show of this generation and a cartoon for this target audience. Nothing feels rushed or purely functional, it feels intentional, and you can see that in how consistent the show is with itself. The style is always clear, the tone doesn't really drift, and the way everything is presented feels like it's part of the same vision from start to finish. Even the smaller details, expressions, reaction, the way scenes are staged, they all add to that feeling that the show knows exactly what it's trying to be and what it's trying to do. And that's where the difference really comes in, because a lot of shows can have a good concept or a good setup, but then you notice like there's a lot of mistakes here and there. The animation doesn't necessarily look the best, but Totally Spies really smashes it out the park. And that's part of the reason why this show still holds up today and why fans are still talking about it, people still want to see more episodes, which is why there's a reboot that's come in.
Totally Spies is being set in Singapore. Remember our nostalgic Clover, Sam and Alex?
We are so gonna be fast friends.
Well, season 7 has just been announced and they are making a comeback for their new season in Singapore. From the trailer, we had our first look of Singapore's iconic bayfront featured in the show. Keeping with the show's premise, our favourite trio will be tasked with battling
strange and frightening creatures all over Singapore.
Previous seasons included locations like France, England, India, US and more. But this is the first time that Singapore has been mentioned. Season 6 was aired in 2013. That's 11 years ago. But just because it's old doesn't mean that we forgot about this iconic trio. No, the cartoon also gets a visual update, though it's actually not far away from the original. They even brought back Jerry. This old man lives in my head rent-free.
Welcome to Whoop World!
On top of our favourite characters, it is set to premiere on May 12th with new characters and villains on France TV network Guli. Hopefully this updated version delivers justice to our childhood.
We're the best spy team ever!
Please leave all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below and leave a like if you've enjoyed this content so far. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and I will catch you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Shay out.